Gas prices continue to dip here in mid-Missouri, but analysts tell us that those prices are just going to go back up after New Year's. Experts tell me the best way to complete a New Year's resolution is just to get moving. Even walking 20 minutes on a treadmill can help out. The Central Missouri Food Bank received $10,000, enough money, they say, to fill up one of these train carts worth of that many food donations. I also want to tell people to make sure not to keep any type of space heater too close to an object where it could catch on fire. They suggest instead, if you need something to warm you up, keep it at least 3 feet away from you. The owner tells me that the property here is a total loss. But one thing he says that can never be replaced is his family's history. It only takes 5 seconds to receive a text and send a text and crash your car. When officers in the health department got to Billy Turner's property to clean it up, they say he got mad, throwing pieces of his porch at them. Well, today I spoke with Turner and he tells me a different story of what happened when police showed up.
Right here by my mailboxes, and got out, and I asked him for the copy of the search warrant, and I said, where does it say on there where it says that they can park on my property? And I was told by the officer, this is the way it's gonna be.
That's Turner's explanation of what he arrived home to yesterday. Police in the health department were there to hand over a piece of paper that would force him to clean up his property, which has been a complaint for months.
The commission said they ordered the property to be abated. So our orders from the county commission were to hire our contractor that we work with to go in and clean up the property.
But Turner says he never knew they were coming out until his daughter called him to tell him they were there. Officers say he became aggressive toward them when they arrived, and that is when they arrested Mr. Turner. Billy Turner is facing 3 counts of assault on an officer when he says officers used foul language at his 14-year-old daughter.
Basically throwing a fit. He was very upset that our deputies and health department personnel were on his property.
Mr. Turner says he would have handled the situation differently had he been home when they arrived.
I think the officers could have not gotten smart with me and with him and my 14-year-old daughter by cursing at her.
Law enforcement says he did not comply with them and started to throw things at them from his property when he resisted arrest. But again, he claims they were smart with him and his daughter. Why would do you think maybe his daughter's lying, or?
You know, I don't know what the basis for him making that comment would be. I really don't.
As far as the health department is concerned, they say his property was indeed in violation of a health code.
On the front porch, there was a large accumulation of trash, and as the large accumulation of trash was being removed, there were numerous roaches that were scattering across the front porch.
What I do is I haul scrap metal and things and help other people with fixing their cars and all, just to be able to help them get by and to help my children to get them the things what they need for school and for life.
He signed a notice saying he would clean it up, but deputies say that never happened. When I was on the property today, Turner had started cleaning up his yard of the scrap metal.
Thieves broke into the Boys and Girls Club in Jefferson City Sunday night. They took video game units totaling more than $500. ABC 17's Samantha Frontera questioned police and organizers at the Boys and Girls Club today. And Samantha, both believes this could be an inside job.
Police tell me they're still investigating, but they also said that this was not a forced entry, meaning someone knew how to get in without busting a door or breaking a window. It didn't take investigators long to figure out how the thieves got in. An open window led into the Boys and Girls Club. Police believe someone or somebody crawled through and got onto a table.
Might have been left partially unlocked, and they were able to get in.
Whoever stole the gaming systems had to walk all the way through this hallway, down these doors, and all the way to the right. Investigators believe the thieves knew where they were going and what they were looking for. Although the Boys and Girls Club says they haven't had any issues in the past, they tell me this has opened their eyes, and they'll be taking extra precautions to secure the building.
We make sure our staff, all the windows are locked, and, make sure that we set the alarm system when we leave, and
making sure what happened last night doesn't happen again.
I feel like Columbia is not safe, period, at all anymore.
A home invasion in the early morning hours scared this young mother. Still shaking up today, she did not want her face to be seen on camera, but did tell us what happened. The victims tell me that they think whoever barged into their back door traipsed through this wooded area and then kicked open the door. Even with their door protected, they still got inside.
Even with this, and it's a door stopper, kicker thing.
The victim tells me she thinks they hid out in the dead end, saying that usually people do park out there. Although she couldn't see their faces, she describes what she saw.
One had a red bandana and the other one had a dark mask. It wasn't a bandana, but it was dark, and they both had jacket pullovers with hood over their faces, or heads and faces, and dark clothing. You couldn't see no skin.
Once they were in the home, they shot her boyfriend in the leg after demanding property. He fell to the floor. She tells me that she thought he was dead as he lay there bleeding. Her initial reaction was to protect their 3-year-old daughter. Neighbors are even shaken up about the incident.
Knowing the fact that they're going in people's houses and people are there and they're actually trying to hurt people to get petty stuff from them. And I have four young children, it bothers me.
All they took was a bottle of Bacardio, leaving their Christmas presents behind. And in the once quiet cul-de-sac, neighbors say that the area is different.
I do think it's changing. I don't know if it's different people coming or I don't know, but it's definitely changing.
And as things like this continue to happen, a mother of 4 says she's ready to leave.
I'm really gonna have to move out the area. I can't have my kids here.
That's right, Hannah. I found out almost 20% of house fires do start in the kitchen. Crews tell me it's mainly from people trying to do too many things at once while they're preparing the meal. With more people and activity during the holidays, the Columbia Fire Department tells me they usually do see a spike in fires around this season. And the cold weather brings a new concern. The Columbia Fire Department wants to remind people who are cooking or using their stoves to stay warm to proceed with caution. There are a lot of distractions around the holidays, but even leaving hot water boiling unattended for just a few minutes could cause a house fire.
If you're wearing long sleeves or anything for that matter that could get into an open flame or an element on an electric stove, you want to try to keep those things away.
Some people I spoke with today have their own method of madness to make sure that they're practicing safe methods of cooking.
Fires, we have a fire extinguisher nearby, and we also have a thermometer that we check the meat so we don't burn it.
Today has been a slow holiday for firefighters, luckily, and so far we haven't seen any major fires. As the cold weather approaches, firefighters also tell me space heaters and fireplaces can cause these structure fires we've been seeing as well. Fire crews want to remind people it's easier to prevent a fire than to fight one. Back to you, Hannah. As Christmas approaches, you would think families would be taking advantage of this warm weather to look for the perfect tree. But farmers in Boone County are noticing customers are getting scared off because of the dry weather over the past 2 years.
It's about farms that, aren't making it. But we grow Scotch pines, very hardy tree. So, there's still thousands of beautiful Scotch pines out there for a Christmas tree.
One family tells me they were surprised the farm still had so many trees left.
See all these green, dark green Christmas trees out here, A lot of the country hasn't gotten that much rain, but it seems like they're doing something right.
Twin Pine farmers say they didn't have too many problems with their pine trees, which are the most popular in Missouri, but their fir trees did suffer from the heat.
Well, we've been growing the firs like this for 5 years. In the last 2 years, it's been very dry, and we've learned that if you don't water them, you'll end up losing them.
Fir trees were mainly affected by the drought because they're so sensitive to water and sunlight. And another farmer breaks down what the future might be for tree season.
We try on our fir and spruce that we're starting here to get at least an inch of moisture on them every week. We're doing that with drip irrigation, and it's something that a lot of Midwest farmers are probably going to have to go to get our seedling started.
Farmer Wayne Harmon experienced a huge loss with his fir trees, but isn't going to give up hope on them completely.
I'm hopeful for the future.
And farmers say it's a waiting game.